I just want to give you guys a video recommendation. It's an interview done by iFL TV by Kugan Cassius with Rashad Holloway. And he's a guy who has sparred both Carson Jones and Shawn Porter. And he's given his, and he's, sparred extensively with Carson Jones, but he's also sparred Shawn Porter, and he actually trained Shawn Porter, or co-trained Shawn Porter. I believe it was for the Malignaggi fight or the Alexander fight. It was the Alexander fight, actually. And in this interview with iFL TV, Rashad Holloway gives his reasons very articulately. Very, very good interview. This guy really needs to get a job in media. He used to be a fighter, and he's now, moving from here and there, just trying to find out what to do with his life because his fight career is over. This guy can talk well. He could be an analyst on TV. Very, very good talker. Very good at breaking down the sweet science. Good interview. Go watch the video. But he says a few things in the interview that are very interesting to me. He says, for one, that Shawn Porter is a bit ragged in terms of his boxing. And that is something that people in America, before the Malignaggi and Alexander fights, were saying about him. That he's a bit rough around the edges, still has a lot of his amateur traits and needs a bit of polishing, needs a bit of refinement. And he points out the fact that Shawn Porter struggled against people like Alfonso Gomez and Julio Diaz and stuff like that. He also says that having sparred with Shawn Porter and Carson Jones is actually the bigger puncher, at least with the right hand. And that's something that might surprise and shock people because, again, people are seeing Shawn Porter as some type of knockout artist. But like I've been saying, the biggest punchers are not always the guys with the best records or even the best knockout records. So don't be surprised if a guy like Carson Jones actually hits harder than Shawn Porter. Don't be surprised by that. Carson Jones is not as skillful as Shawn Porter. Right? He's not going to be able to land his right hand as easily as Shawn Porter is. And also, there's a lot of people basing their prediction, their Brook Porter prediction, on the Carson Jones fights, especially the first fight. And they're saying, well, look what Carson Jones did to Kell Brook. Well, Carson Jones is not the same as Shawn Porter. They've got a different style. Carson Jones is one of them kind of guys who gets in your face and he doesn't care how many times you hit him. He's willing to take 10 punches just to land one. And when you're in there with that kind of guy, he's like a kamikaze pilot or a suicide bomber. That's what he's like. Like he's willing to put himself in the line of fire and take all kinds of punishment. Yeah. And, he definitely feels that in the morning when he wakes up. Shawn Porter's not willing to do that. Shawn Porter can apply pressure, but is nowhere near as relentless. He doesn't stay on top of you as consistently as someone like Carson Jones and not give you an inch or room to breathe. He's not like that. He's more sporadic. He mixes it up with a bit of boxing. Sometimes he'll come in when he thinks it's safe. Then sometimes he'll move around or back up. So you get more breaks in a Shawn Porter fight than you get fighting Carson Jones. With Carson Jones, you better be able to hit him with something that's going to deter him coming forward, because if you don't, he's going to take you into deep water. Shawn Porter's not like that. Now, he does have the ability to apply sustained pressure at certain points in fights, but he doesn't do it consistently throughout a fight. I haven't seen one of Shawn Porter's fights yet where he's consistently applied pressure throughout the whole fight. The closest he's come to doing that was probably the Paulie Malignaggi fight, but that was only, was it 2 or 3 round fight? But other than that, he mixes it up a little bit. He's not constant pressure. So Kell Brook will have breaks, and it's not going to be as much of a war of attrition, I don't think, as the Carson Jones fights were. I don't think it's really going to be a war of attrition like that. I think if Shawn Porter's going to win, he's going to win because he's the sharper guy, the looser guy, the guy with the better footwork who can get into punching position the quickest and get off his punches. I don't think it's going to be because he's pushing Kell Brook back, constantly tiring him out and outworking him. I don't think it's going to be that kind of fight. I think it's going to be, far more about the accuracy of Porter's punches, body punching, and outmaneuvering Kell Brook rather than just storming forward and just running over him. I don't think it's going to be that kind of fight. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but just thought I'd give you that video recommendation. Go watch it. Interview with Rashad Holloway, iFL TV, Kugan Cassius. Go check it out. This is Hatman. I'm out.